Everyone wants to build big legs, especially big quads. However, considering every single quad exercise involves your knees, all it takes is a tiny bit of knee pain to realize just how difficult this can be. Fortunately, I'm here to tell you that you can always continue to build those thighs you've always wanted. Better yet, you can do it all while fixing your knee pain for the good. All right, the first thing you need to do after developing knee pain is to take it slow and try to identify the cause of the knee pain. Was it a sudden acute injury caused by an awkward movement or going too heavy on an exercise? Or was it a gradual onset of pain likely caused by inflammation from repetitive use? Depending on the cause and severity of the problem, you might only just need to let it rest and recover before it's back to normal. However, pain caused by repetitive use or chronic conditions such as arthritis can often be much more difficult to solve. In these cases, you'll probably need to find exercises to grow your quads that you can do pain-free while you assess the problem. Fortunately, there are a number of great quad exercises that take a lot of the stress off of your knees. For example, doing reverse lunges instead of forward or walking lunges will place far less stress on your front knee. Similarly, weighted step-ups can be a very challenging exercise that most people with knee pain are usually very comfortable doing. Additionally, you could also just do your normal quad exercises like squats or leg extensions, but using a much lighter weight and making minor form adjustments to take the stress off of your knees, such as not fully locking out. If you usually like to run or walk on a treadmill, you might want to consider switching to an impactless form of cardio, such as the elliptical or a real or stationary bike, or even swimming. Without your feet smacking on the ground with every step, your knees don't have to act as shocks and absorb that impact. While these are generally great options to avoid knee pain, let me remind you that these may still cause some discomfort depending on the severity of your condition. Just remember that some pain isn't always bad. Just make sure that you never overdo it. All right, now while finding exercises that don't hurt your knees is great, it still doesn't address nor correct the problem. After all, unless you are using awful form, it's highly unlikely that a specific exercise caused your knee problems in the first place. Instead, your knee pain was more than likely caused by a joint or muscle weakness that became evident when you were doing that specific, more demanding exercise. Therefore, just like nearly every other muscle or joint problem in existence, the solution to your knee pain is almost definitely to strengthen the joint and strengthen the surrounding muscles. Luckily, this is actually extremely easy to do and doesn't even involve having to lift heavy weights. In fact, you should actually lower the amount of weight you normally use. All it involves is doing your normal exercises, but with an increased range of motion on the stretch portion of those exercises. For example, if you typically squat to parallel, start trying to squat past parallel. If this is too difficult, find ways to make it easier, such as placing a small plate underneath your heels, a box behind you to squat down on, or just using a Smith machine so you don't have to worry about the stability or balance of the exercise. And this doesn't only apply to squats. If you usually only do normal lunges, switch to high deficit reverse lunges where your front foot is raised on a step or small box so you can get more depth. By increasing your range of motion but lowering the weight you use on these exercises, you're doing three very important things. Number one, you're strengthening the muscles and tendons in and around your knee in the positions where they're weakest. Number two, you're subjecting your muscles and tendons to high levels of stress in a lengthened position, which maximizes your potential for growth. And number three, as a result of you becoming stronger in these stretch positions, you're also increasing your mobility and comfortability in positions that you would have otherwise been painful or impossible to do beforehand. All right, obviously, if the muscles and tendons around your knees are becoming bigger and stronger in a wide range of positions, this could only spell good things for you. Not only does this mean that your risk of injury is much lower, but these stronger tendons and muscles will be able to handle much more workload and therefore take more of the stress off of the ligaments and other structures of of the knee. So once you've built up a solid foundation of knee strength, you can then move on to bulletproofing your knees with some very challenging but highly effective quad exercises. These two exercises are quad fallouts and sissy squats, with both essentially being the same exercise, just one is done standing and the other is done seated. Now, I've covered these two exercises before in past videos, but their effectiveness mostly lies in the fact that they increase your knee flexion to nearly maximal levels. As a result, this basically stretches your quads and knee tendons as much as is physically possible, leading to the same benefits I mentioned earlier. Building big quads while dealing with constant or intermittent knee pain is never fun and definitely isn't easy. Most importantly though, is that it's not impossible. By just giving your body enough rest and carefully choosing exercises that can cause you no pain, you can quickly resolve your knee problems without missing out on much growth. Then, once you're feeling up for it, you can increase your range of motion and leverage exercises such as quad fallouts and sissy squats to make sure that your knee pain never comes back. If you have any personal methods of addressing knee pain that have worked well for you, then let me know down in the comments section. I would love to hear about them. Thank you so much for watching my video, and as always, get busy, get after it, and God bless.